Hey guys, I'm currently at the airport, and while I wait, I wanted to tell you guys about this story that I heard about earlier this week. And it was about how some Cubans are paying upwards of $7,000 in order to get to Guyana. Now, why would anybody do such a thing? What is the situation that's making people do that? And that's what I'm gonna get into a little bit in this video. But first, I want to introduce myself. Let's run the intro.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
How many of you wish that you knew someone that you... Hey guys, Dave the Ring here. Welcome to No Frontier. On this platform, it is my job to help encourage people to get out there, to create their own experiences and to form their own opinions, because I know more exposure leads to expansion. By the end of this video, when I talk about what I'm going to talk about, you're going to see why I say exposure leads to expansion. In other words, while you're out there in the field, when you travel and you talk to people and you see things, it really enlightens you. It really makes you grow because it's something that you weren't exposed to previously. What is the situation that's making some Cubans pay $7,000 upwards in order to get to a place like Guyana? How is that even possible? You take a nation, island in the Caribbean, Cuba, and you go to another quote-unquote Caribbean nation. It's not an island, it's a part of South America to the north. How is flights that expensive? And it's not even a first-class situation. It's just that the route that they have to take. But it all stems back from 2018. Sorry for the noise. In 2018, there was some attacks on the American consulate in Cuba. And so the government decided, let's pull away some diplomats and our manpower out of Cuba. Let's pull it out. And those were the people that used to handle things like the visa process and the interviewing and whatnot. And so with that being shut off, it kind of makes Cubans have to look for other routes in order to take to get those kind of services done. Another thing that made for a bad situation is because of the pandemic, there used to be other flights that would make it easier to get to a place like Guyana, but the Cuban government shut down at least 5 of those flight routes, and so it really made it so difficult. On top of that, compound that, the Cubans don't have a strong passport, obviously because decades of embargoes and their political views and whatnot. And so they're kind of like closed off from a lot of places. A lot of places they need visas for around the world. And so how exactly do they have to do it? Now, I've read that Cubans have to they got to go to Russia, which is visa free. They're like friends. Obviously, those two nations are friends. They got to go to Russia, and then they got to transfer to like Turkey, and then other countries, and then Panama, and then finally Cuba. So you're already in the Caribbean, you got to go on the other side of the world just to come back to your side of the world. And with all of that traveling and different airlines or whatnot, you're spending close to $7,000. Now, what Cuban can readily have around that money? So I'm just guessing it's somebody at higher society that has it, or a family sending them or whatnot, and in desperate, dire need to do such a thing. And it's pretty interesting. Here's what I'll say too. As a person who's first generation, I think we are privy to more information about these things like visa process, immigration, because we have family and friends who've gone through the process. If you're American here for many generations, you don't know that because it doesn't really concern you, or your family's here. You don't have to worry about the other things. But still, being in a first generation, second generation position, we still don't know a lot, even if we didn't go through it. Traveling has shown me a lot, because on the road, I've met people who've actually told me, hey, I'm going to enter the U.S. illegally. Or I was in Barbados years ago, and I met someone from St. Lucia that came for like 2 days just to do an interview for a visa in order to go to Germany. See what I mean? Like, people, and in the islands, they do it a lot, where they go to different islands in order to get different services done, or even if they want to do business, get different materials, but that's a different story. Island hopping, and to go to Barbados to do an interview, to be able to go to Germany, it's pretty interesting to hear. Now, the situation when I said that I met someone who said that they were going to enter the U.S. illegally. This was the scenario. Years ago, once again, I was with my boy traveling. We went to 4 countries that trip. We went to Guatemala, where we met. We met in Guatemala. I was there first, and then my dude came over. We went to El Salvador, and we also went to Honduras. And then I think we flew back into Miami and then went to South America, to Uruguay. The first three legs, those countries, we went by way of bus. And that was a new experience for me as well as him, going through different countries on bus. Now, I've done it in Europe after the fact. Yeah, after the fact, I've done it in Europe where I went to Paris, to Belgium, and then I went to the Netherlands. But in terms of, this was my first time doing the different borders and the countries, and being stuck at the border, like the whole experience, and it was pretty interesting. Needless to say, I was on the bus, my boy and I, and this lady, we just got in conversation with her, and she said that she plans, because I think people ask if we're American and whatnot, and I think the lady said that she has plans to go with her 2 sons illegally into the U.S. and just telling us how it works, how much. I think she said is like $6,000 for the boys or $5,000. Either way, I just remember that the kids were more than her, like per kid and her, because kids take more handling and whatnot. They're slower in terms of that, so it's more money because it's more work. So the coyotes take you to the border, get you through a little bit, and then, that's that. People go through so many things to get here. Now imagine, let's just say for her and her 2 sons, it's $5,000 apiece, so $15,000. Coming from one of those nations in Central America, $15,000 is like life-changing for, I don't know, the vast majority of people. So imagine her getting that money somehow, saving it for years, getting people to chip in. Imagine going through that whole process, getting to the border, and you get returned. Pretty interesting stuff, but I can go on and on about this. So guys, if you have any questions, any comments, definitely let me know down below. You know where to do. And watch for my upcoming videos. I'm going to do some more videos on felons gaining entry into Mexico. A lot of people are asking questions about that. I did a video about that months ago, but I want to go in deeper to help more people out. So until next time, David the Ring, No Frontier, over and out. See you in the next one.